Hey guys, how's it going? Before we get started with this video today, I just wanted to kind of stop and say thank you. What many of you don't know is that we have been dealing with a lot here at the Sutton House since December 2018. I actually got shot in the hip, and we've been dealing with that recovery for a pretty long time now. I actually even had a PRP injection 6 weeks ago to try to facilitate some of that healing, and the legal issue is still going on as well, which is why I've been really hesitant of talking about it at all. And with all this COVID-19 stuff going on, everything's basically been on hold indefinitely. So we're still dealing with a lot of that, but being able to make these videos and have some creative outlet to be put out there has really helped with the entire process. So I just wanted to stop and say thank you for those that have supported this channel. And if you're new here, we just got really personal really quick. So we'll just have to deal with that as it comes. But let's get into the video today. I want to talk about the new 2020 setup I have for the YouTube channel here. I really made a lot of changes over the past couple weeks, so let's get at it. I'm Rob Sutton, and I enjoy reviewing tech that we encounter in our everyday lives. I also have a serious obsession with modifying everything. So follow along as we take a look at tech in a different way. So let's jump into the setup now. Where I used to just be using some cheap lights here and there just to make things work, I wanted to make a concentrated effort this year on actually upping the production value of my YouTube videos. So I bought some lighting, some audio, and just switched the entire office setup around to really make it just a little bit more professional looking and higher quality. All right, so let's jump into it. I will actually leave the links for all of these down in the description below so you can see exactly how much they cost and what it would take to build a setup like this. I would not call it a budget setup, but it's also not a super expensive one either. I tried to cut costs where I could, and I'll show you where I did that. All right, so guys, I am still filming on my Sony a7 III. Right now it has that 20mm f1.8 lens that I just reviewed on it. I found that it's got a nice field of view inside this office space, and it provides enough depth of field out of a wide angle lens to kind of give me some separation from the background. It ended up being a great lens for video. You can check out the review here. So a couple aspects about this video camera setup that I'm running right now. One, it has the ANDYCINE monitor on it. As you know, the a7 III does not have a flip out screen, so you do need some kind of monitor to be able to see what you're filming, especially in these talking head situations. Now that is not one of the more expensive ones. I did go more of a budget setup with that one. I've been perfectly happy with it. When I'm in these kind of situations that are a really controlled environment, I don't need a ton of features. I really just need that monitor. So I picked that one up on Amazon, and it has worked out really well for me. Now the camera is sitting on a nice tripod and a nice tripod head. I am using the Manfrotto 808 RC4 tripod head because it is really stable, but it's also really fluid. So I can use it for photography and I can use it for video. It's not a full out panning shot type tripod head, but you can fake it with it, which makes it really good to use for these kind of situations where you want just one tripod head to kind of do everything. And then it's sitting on top of a really sturdy Manfrotto tripod. Now, one of the biggest things I changed up this year was actually the audio and the lighting. You'll notice that is a lot different now than it was previously. So on the lighting end, I actually did go a little bit budget on this side just because I didn't want to go a full out studio setup. So I did a NEEWER SL60W LED light attached to a NEEWER 36-inch diffuser. It is using the stock diffuser for right now. I do have a hexagonal one on order so that I can get rid of some of this spill light that's going to the back wall. With the 36-inch in this space, I love the way it casts light, but it can spill off just a little. So I'm hoping that hexagonal one will actually help with that a little bit. It is sitting on one of my PHOTOFLEX tripods, which is a really sturdy tripod. When you deal with lights up in the air like this, you want to be able to not worry about it tipping over, so it's crucial that you find a tripod that's really sturdy. So now for the audio. I actually went to a shotgun mic setup, and I went to an NGT1 from Rode. It's because I wanted to save a little bit of money but still get really high quality audio. And for this one, I actually went to Adorama on their used section of their website and found this for just over $100. The great part about Adorama is I trust them on used equipment. I have bought several different lenses, cameras, all kinds of stuff out of their used department, and I've never had an issue or needed to return something. So I was able to order this mic and actually be confident it was going to come in looking like new. Now the microphone is sitting on just kind of a cheaper stand just to keep it right above my head and out of frame, and going through an XLR cable to the TASCAM TR40X. The great thing about the 40X is that it does have XLR inputs. It also has phantom power because this is not a powered mic on its own. It does not take batteries. So you need the phantom power to actually power this microphone and capture that audio onto an SD card. So for run and gun setups, I actually use this Rode Video Micro. It works out really well for just kind of run and gun and outside scenarios. I found that its compact size makes it a lot easier to handhold over something like the Video Pro. Now for the computer setup, I'm using the exact same one that I made a time-lapse video of several years ago. It's an Intel i7 with a GTX 1070 from EVGA and 32 gigs of RAM. Even for 4K video editing, it seems to be doing pretty well. Then for the rest of the office setup, I'm actually running an LG 27-inch 4K monitor. I actually did have two of them, but since we are working from home so much right now, my wife stole one of those and has it in her office upstairs. So right now, you're just seeing the one display. It's sitting on top of the UPLIFT desk version 2, which I reviewed recently. I really love the versatility of this. It allows me to make videos that are either sitting down or standing up and still having a workspace and a monitor if needed. For the monitors, I did the PRESONUS E3.5s. They're a nice size. They were a nice price. I didn't want to go crazy on those either. They provide clean enough audio that is really good for editing and just watching shows or listening to some music. It's not an overkill setup, but it does really well at that price point. And then of course I have the Hue play bars that are lighting up ambient light onto the wall, which I really liked as well, and you also can find the review for that I did recently. They just provide nice accent lighting that you can change the colors of depending on what you're doing at the time. And then just for some extra camera gear that provides a little bit more versatility, I do have the Tamron 28-75 f2.8 and the Mavic Air for drone use. So that just provides me a little bit more versatility when it comes to focal length and how I can get views on things with the drone. So guys, that is my setup for YouTube for 2020. If you have any questions about anything I talked about here, please hit up the comment section below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more videos like this in the future. And until then, on to the next one. Thanks guys, see ya.